Hey everyone, I am Dr. Dream. Oh, I was going to make a joke and I couldn't even make a joke right then. Tonight is Monday, December 8th, 2025. This night could go down in infamy. We'll see what happens. So before we get into everything, I just want to welcome everyone here this evening. And if we happen to post this afterwards, anyone that watches it later, we'll see what happens. I boy, I don't know where to start. Susie just told me that I've been on a mental freight train for the last 36 hours. And so I'm going to hold on to that as maybe an excuse for why things aren't working too well. We'll see what happens. But no, things have been good. Maybe I have been on a mental freight train, but it's not been without results. We have our podcasts on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and Amazon and other platforms, and that's very exciting. I did an interview today with a woman that I first interviewed back in April of this year, and today I gave her the title of Badass Empowered Renaissance Woman, and she liked it, so we went public with that. Yeah, I feel like it's an interesting time of year. We're just kind of riding the wave toward New Year's is kind of how I'm feeling. Not that I don't have things to do and I'm just letting things slide, actually far from that. But it is that interesting time of year. And I'm embracing it and seeing where it takes me. I'm stalling right now from the actual topic tonight. I don't know. Anyway, I'm very pleased you're all here. You know, last week I made the offhand remark that maybe we should do a humorous topic because all of our topics are, big topics. It's not uncommon for tears to be shed in the It's All Good circle. And I thought, hey, let's do a topic where if tears are to be shed, it's because we're laughing so hard. And when I stated that, I actually thought that I could come up with something and that I'm fairly funny and that this would be super easy for me. I stalled all week and didn't post the topic until last night. And I've been freaking out a little bit ever since then and absolutely questioning if I'm funny or not. And so it's been a super challenge for me, and I'm learning something about myself. And maybe one of the things I'm learning is that I'm not funny on demand. I'm just funny, like not on demand, like just to make things easier in life. I think that I love humor. I love laughing. Stephanie and I, our whole relationship. We've been laughing, and that's even when I've got my clothes on. Okay, I took a shot at a joke, and no one's laughing there. All right, this is worse than I thought it's going to be tonight. So I'll fess up. One of the things I did is I went to my custom chat bot, Lumina. And I said, I need you to write me a monologue for tonight. You know, the great comedians like Jay Leno, Johnny Carson, all these guys, they don't write their stuff. They got a team of writers in the back room that are writing their stuff. So I'm going to take a shot at this monologue to open things up, and let's see where it goes. I also have a backup story and then a list of backup jokes also that have the backup story is mine. The rest of the stuff I'm not taking any credit for. Welcome, everyone. I am Dr. Dream, and tonight we're opening a doorway into the cosmic comedy of existence. Because let's be honest, the universe is hilarious. Not always on purpose, but definitely often. Think about it. We're flying through space on a giant rock at 67,000 miles an hour, pretending we're late for things. I mean, seriously. The cosmos is out here expanding in every direction, and I'm getting upset because my favorite coffee mug is used by someone else. Okay, boy, I'm going to fire Lumina after this. Perspective is a powerful thing. Sometimes I imagine the universe watching us like a cosmic sitcom. Like, oh, look, here's Dr. Dream trying to meditate. Oh, wait. And there goes the thought about laundry. Commercial break. Okay. This is bad. Lumina, I mean, she's a freaking computer, for goodness sake. What did we expect from her? And yet, even with all that, we take ourselves so seriously. We forget the joy is a spiritual technology. Laughter is a vibration that clears energy faster than sage, Palo Santo, and a 3-hour sound bath combined. One thing I love about laughter, oh, someone's trying to get in. Let me just go back to that. One thing I love about laughter is that it sneaks past the mind. The mind goes, no, we have important things to worry about. And laughter says, yeah, scoot over. And suddenly you're free for a moment, light, weightless, cosmic. We've all had those moments where we realize life is way too magical to be approached like a linear checklist. Ever notice that your biggest aha moments come right after you stop trying so hard? The universe loves to deliver breakthroughs during the most random activities: folding laundry, washing dishes, waiting for your tea to cool, driving, but only when you absolutely cannot write anything down. All right, that was, oh no, there's a second page here. I'm going to finish up because I started, and so I got to take it to the limit. And humor is part of that magic. It opens the channel. It makes room for intuition, inspiration, creativity. It interrupts the story we're telling ourselves and says, hey, you're more than this moment. Remember who you are, a cosmic being pretending to be a human who forgot their passwords. That's why tonight we celebrate laughter. All right, let me click on this. Vienna's here. All right. That's why tonight we celebrate laughter, not the surface kind, but the soul deep kind, the kind that realigns your molecules and reminds your heart that it still knows how to dance. So let's laugh together. Let's honor the cosmic comedy of being here, being human, being brilliantly imperfect, and somehow still choosing love again and again. Because when we laugh, we lighten the universe itself. All right. Since I kind of feel like that bombed, I am going to tell you a story. This goes back, how many years ago, sweetie? It was 5 years ago. Actually, 5 years this month, December of 2020, December of 2019. Okay, I get it. Stephanie and I took my daughter Maya to Nepal. And it was a pretty hardcore trip. It was 30 days in Nepal. We were visiting the people that make our bowls. It was our first time there, and none of us really knew what to expect. And it was beautiful, incredible, hardcore. I mean, just you name it, it was it. And one day we were having a bit of a challenging day, and we were headed somewhere, and we flagged down a taxi to go from our Airbnb to the heart of Kathmandu. And we get in this taxi, and of course, we can't speak Nepalese or Nepali, or whatever the language is. But we know enough to kind of tell the taxi driver where we're going. And for the 15-minute ride to where we were going, all the taxi driver did was laugh, the biggest belly laugh ever. And initially, again, we were a little bit on edge. There may have been some short words and things before we got into the taxi. And before you knew it, we were all laughing hysterically. There was no language back and forth with him. I don't know if he's like this with everyone that gets into his cab, but with us, it was just this constant laughter from point A to point B. And it was a beautiful thing. And it transcended language. It transcended the barriers of or the obstacles or the challenges in communication. And it was a great thing, and we've talked about it quite often since then, and it's been fun for us to remember that moment. And I think it was particularly poignant because we did not get into the cab in a very good mood, and when we got out of the cab, we were completely endorphins going and everything else. And so, all right, that's my story. I'm sticking with it. Now I'm going to turn the mic over to Phil, who has so graciously accepted the spot right now. Phil, you're on.
Okay, so well, I told my wife she should embrace her mistakes, so she hugged me. Now, so when you came up with this subject, and I didn't know what to do or what I was going to do with it, and today I got on my computer and I started playing around with things, and I started looking up all these. Well, let me just bring up a few names, like Joan Rivers. Now, any of you that remember Joan Rivers, she was pretty attacking. She was pretty, I mean, she's crazy. And I never quite got her humor. I thought, she's making fun of all these people, and that's how she made her living, was making fun of people. And then today I'm sitting there and I'm going, you know what? Maybe we need to loosen up a little bit. Maybe I need to loosen up a little bit, because sometimes we take ourselves way too seriously. We like, we think that we're on this ride of something that really means something, and maybe it doesn't mean as much as we think it does. And maybe we need to enjoy what we're doing more often, and we need to laugh more and have a good time with it. And then I started looking up and thinking about things like, well, how about the Three Stooges? The Three Stooges got thrown off the air. Why? Because they were too violent. And then we have all this other stuff going on in life, and they were too violent. And then we got to this place where now we can't, nobody has the right to what's the word I'm looking for? Somebody bangs somebody over the head with something. I mean, we can't discernment. Okay. Now they took discernment away, because now we can't discern that was just funny. That wasn't something that you do with your brother or sister. You don't take a pan out and bang them over the head. Of course you don't. We have a discernment. Well, they took that away because they said, you know what, people aren't smart enough to figure that out. And that was a shame. Now you take things like, oh, this is a good one. How about Amos and Andy? Does anybody remember that? Now, yeah, Susie, you remember it. See, we're at the age where we remember this kind of stuff. Now, a lot of people don't. Well, look it up. Go on YouTube and look it up. Funniest damn thing. I looked it up today and I was just roaring in my seat, laughing at these. A lot of these shows were taken away. Now, Amos and Andy was taken away because they said, oh, it's racist. So you have a bunch of black people creating humor, and now it's racism. It's bizarre. And then I started thinking about it, and I went, you know what? Humor is being hijacked out of our existence. Where'd all the comedy clubs go? Okay, they're gone. Majority of them. Where'd the comedians go? So many of the good old comedians. Robin Williams committed suicide. Why? He had supposedly depression. I don't know, maybe, who knows? I mean, this is a little bit weird, but a lot of these people are gone, and some of them, many of them, too young. But it seems like humor has been hijacked, and we've gotten into this place now to where everything's so serious. Well, Red Skelton, I don't know who remembers him. He was hilarious. He was absolutely hilarious. The doctor gave me 6 months to live, but I couldn't pay the bill. So he gave me another 6 months. Maybe I'm laughing at my own jokes, but it's funny. I went to a spiritual healer last night. What a load of rubbish. Even the man in the wheelchair walked out. Confucius says, man who runs after car gets exhausted. So I laugh more today than I have in a long, long time, because Dr. Dream came up with this silly idea to have something funny, and then he thought it was a mistake, and I personally loved it because I got to go back and look at all these things that I've been missing for all these times, because part of them were taken away, but now with YouTube and such, we can go back and look at some of these things that were taken away from us. Yeah, I mean, they're just Laurel and Hardy, George Carlin. Some of these people were a little different and whatnot, but they had some really funny skits. And it all goes back to, and that's why I brought up Joan Rivers, because so much of what we do, and Dr. Dream, you said it earlier, I think maybe before the show started, was that you take yourself too seriously or whatever. And yeah, that's true. We all do. And we all, sometimes don't get into this laughter thing. And then I got to thinking, I wonder if anybody smoked pot here. Well, I have. And when you're smoking pot, has anybody ever said, get serious? so there you go. I mean, I love it. There's so many funny things to laugh at, with ourselves and each other, and it's kind of like, okay, let's all just loosen up and let's noodle out a little bit and have fun and not be so serious all the time, and yeah, it's all good, but it's more good. So tonight, right on, Mary.
Well, I've had fun. Except the
Speak up.
little one.
Speak up. You can. Go ahead.
Children with babies added on to that, grandparents, and so I'm still feeling really the joy from the jokes today was.
So there.
I don't know.
There you have it from us. I stole her jokes. She hugged the joke. Thank you.
Thank you, Phil. Thank you, Mary. I appreciate both of you. Boy, Phil, you really dated yourself. You in your examples there. It's. But I did recall while you were saying all those names that one of the funniest shticks that I loved as a kid was Abbott and Costello. And
Yes.
the movies and everything else, and I that brought it back. And I tend to, when I watched TV and sitcoms and everything, loved the comedies and everything. And so thanks for doing that and invoking names of comedians that we need to be 68 or older to remember. I do appreciate that. All right. So it's Stephanie. Are you going to step right in?
I think so, yeah. Phil, I loved everything you said, and you're totally right. I take myself too seriously. So, I'm trying something different this week. You all ever notice that everyone that says that they want inner peace also says they want to win every argument? Like, I'm trying to be spiritually aligned, but Brenda needs to know she's wrong. Okay? Like, she just needs to know. But listen, you can't become enlightened and win in the comment section on Facebook. You gotta pick one. You know, you can't have both. It's actually why I started this thing called Peace Seed. It's like a wellness movement for people who want to improve, but are also one minor inconvenience away from screaming into a pillow. Got my pillow right here. Peace Seed says plant peace within and let it grow. And I'm like, yes, but can it grow faster? Like, is there a miracle grow for emotional stability? So then we have Unity Code, which is all about unity, not uniformity. Bliss, I am trying to do a stand-up bit for the first time in my life. Bliss is jealous.
I thought she said unicornity.
Go, 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 go. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Thank you for that brief commercial. Okay. Yeah, unicornity. All right. So I'll work on speaking better. All right. So then we have this thing, Unity Code, which is all about unity, not uniformity or unicornity. I get it now. Unity Code is like, we don't all have to agree. We just have to respect one another. And humanity said, okay, but like, what if we just don't? Unity Code imagines a world where people can disagree peacefully, like two people saying, I honor your perspective, even though you're obviously wrong. That's the dream. Unity Code is basically the adult version of kindergarten rules. Use your words, share, don't throw blocks at people who vote differently than you. Honestly, that would fix half of society. But here's the thing about conscious people. They always say they're working on themselves, which usually means they bought one journal and haven't written in it since the solar eclipse. Guilty. Or they say, I'm doing the inner work, but like, could you also do the outer work and do your dishes? Peace Seed is for people who want to grow, evolve, and become more peaceful, but also tend to yell at inanimate objects. Like, I am one with all beings. Unless my phone autocorrects love to live one more time, I might break this thing.
Yeah.
Peace Seed people are the kind of folks who meditate in the morning and then threaten to fight a parking meter in the afternoon. Just take my quarters, or why do I have to use an app? I mean, come on. And that's okay. We don't need perfection. We just need slightly less chaos. Just enough improvement that our ancestors are like, wow, they're really trying. That's cool. Unity Code is the next level. It's like, let's build bridges between people, which sounds inspirational, until you try to talk to somebody who believes the earth is shaped like a Dorito. Unity Code says, meet in the middle, but sometimes the middle is, you think the moon landing was fake. I think you need a nap. Let's just have some tea. Here's the truth. Most of us want the same things. Love, peace, acceptance, and to not sit next to somebody chewing loudly. So guilty. We're all humans. Some of us are spicy, some are crunchy, and some are just intermediate level humans still buffering. But we're all here together. Peace Seed says plant peace within, and Unity Code says grow peace between. Together, they're basically saying, can we chill for like 5 minutes? Collectively, just chill. That's it. That's the revolution. Not rioting, not fighting, just deep breaths. And maybe, some herbal tea or ceremonial cacao. And honestly, that might save the world faster than anything. So when all else fails, just remember to laugh, love, and breathe. That's my little bit. Thanks, guys.
Yay!
That was very good. Stephanie, could you just help me out for a second? Tell them how funny I am.
Okay, so you are hilarious, which makes me kind of laugh that you are like having a like writer's block for this week's episode because you are hilarious. I have gotten significantly funnier since knowing you. My humor has improved. You make me laugh all of the time, like big belly laughs. Like you have me laughing like basically constantly. You are very punny, pun intended. Like you drop puns like nobody's business. And you're also very like quick and witty, so you're able to like make good jokes off of like everything that's happening, and it's just hilarious. I think you definitely just got into your head about like presenting something because you are super super funny, and I have seen you make 500 people laugh at the same time. So just a reminder, like you are hilarious. I love you and I adore you, and your funniness is like top 10 things that I love most about you.
That's so cool. Thank you so much. That makes me feel so much better tonight. All right. Who's up? Thank you, sweetie. Love you. Who's up next? I'm open. Do I have to call on Susie? I mean, somebody?
Gail waved. And is it
Gail?
okay if we unmute and laugh a little bit? Like no comedian stands up to a silent audience. That's not working for me.
Yeah,
Is that
yeah,
okay if we
you can
hit
do
the
that.
space bar and laugh some?
Sure.
That's fine. Okay. So, first thing is when Dr. Dream puts out the video, I want everybody to go in and watch Susie, because at somewhere at about 3 to 5 minutes after the video started, Susie backed up into her sunset and disappeared, completely gone. And that was okay, because when she came back, she was holding a dog. I think it is the most amazing thing that she went into the sun and she came back with a dog.
It was actually a
So I
cat.
want you all to watch that. Okay? But, the thing I think that I don't think of myself as funny. When I try and tell a joke, nobody laughs. But other people think of me as funny, and they do so because I hear and look at words differently than many human beings. I listen for the simple ideas and the words that have more than one meaning, and my brain works so fast that, yeah, okay, so I got the meaning that somebody said out loud, but there's this other meaning, and so when I respond based on that other meaning, then that's funny, or I point it out, and that's funny. It's a sense of absurdity. But
And I love it.
the thing that most of the humor of the greats was really surprisingly simple. It was not nearly as complicated as who's on first and who's on second. Oh wait, no, it's not who's on second. It was not that complicated and long and drawn out. It was a quick one-liner here and there. And it was about looking at the world sideways. And that's where the magic seems to happen for me. We had a couple came over when I was married. We hadn't been married very long, and we were still trying to do things as a couple. And so we had another couple come over, and for some reason, we started batting a balloon around. Now, here we are all, I don't know, 24, 25, 26, somewhere in there. And we spent 2 hours batting a balloon around, and I had to put away all the breakables because we were all over the living room. And the next day, every one of us was so sore. I didn't know that we would use that many muscles, but I mean, we were jumping over furniture to keep it from falling on the ground. And I think that was a super simple, innocent kind of thing that was tremendously funny. We spent that whole time they were there laughing and making cracks and that was a peak memory. So I invite you to think about the memories that you have where you laughed uproariously for a long time. And was whatever you were laughing at complicated or simple? And if it was simple, how the heck do we recreate that on a regular basis? Because that was a whole lot of fun. Okay, I done.
Yay!
Appreciate all of that, Gail. Thank you so much for sharing. And I can't wait to watch Susie disappear into the sky and come back with a cat that's big enough to be mistaken for a dog.
Warning, things in your side view mirror might be bigger than they
Right.
appear.
Okay, so, I'm not much for stand-up comedy, but I have had some very comical times in my life. Was once I was on this scientific vessel and all these really serious scientists. It was like Sunday and we had this barbecue on the fantail and we had to present skits. So my skit was, I had the guy that had the biggest hands, and I mean, he had like big, huge hands, and a poncho was over me, and so he was my hands, but he couldn't see anything in front of me, and so I had a jar of peanut butter, a pack of cigarettes, and a cup of coffee, and a loaf of bread. And so I'm talking and directing, telling basically what I want his hands to do. And so I'm telling him that, well, before we get started, I have this, we're going to, have this talk on the proper way to make a peanut butter sandwich. And so he's going for the bread. He can't quite find it. And he winds up in the cigarettes and he's unwrapping the cigarettes. And so all of a sudden I've got a cigarette in my mouth and he like pokes it in my cheek first. And then I'm going, oh yeah, no, we're going to have the sandwich first. And so he reaches for the bread and he's slapping the peanut butter on it with his fingers. And I noticed that the wrapper from the plastic thing around the cigarettes wound up in the peanut butter sandwich, and I'm watching it go into the sandwich, and I know that I'm going to be eating the sandwich. And so he's making the sandwich, and I'm going, well, maybe I will have that cigarette first. We'll smoke the cigarette first. And so he says, all of a sudden, here comes the sandwich, and it goes like right into my cheek, and I'm going, no, let's smoke first. And so he's got these giant meat hooks as hands, and he's doing all these things. And so I smoke the cigarette, then there's beer there, and he's pouring the beer into a glass, and he's got his finger inside the glass because he doesn't know where it's going. He can't see anything. And so he's pouring it in there. And by the time this thing was finished, the scientists were filming it. And so it's in some archive in the scientific NOAA, National Oceanographic Administration archives of scientific experiments about peanut butter sandwiches and cigarettes and beer. And that was fun. And so I've been involved in funny things. And then another time I was playing pranks on the guys in the engine room all the time. And so I worked in the galley and I went. It was dinner time, and so I had to go to the bathroom really bad. So I run back to my stateroom, and I go into the bathroom, and my toilet seat was banded in the up position with a piece of metal. So I couldn't put the seat down to sit on it. And so and so I had to hover over my seat. And so then I go back into the wardroom where all those guys are sitting there eating, and they all got their heads down, and they're eating, and I'm looking at them. Nobody's going to look at me, right? Because they know I had to go to the bathroom, and they know that my seat was in the up position and I couldn't get it down. And so then the captain, he kind of played both sides, and he gave me a key. And so that night I went and they're all watching movies in a particular place. And I went and, did you know that, what do you call it? Shaving cream fits right into the place where you put your toothpaste inside the toothpaste tube. It fits right in there really good. And I just filled their toothpaste with shaving cream, and it doesn't taste very good. So I and then toilet papered their room, and peanut buttered earpiece down in the engine room, and then called down there so that the chief had to pick up the phone and have peanut butter up against his ear. So little things like that. But the story that I wanted to tell, and it's, it's like, I'm not a stand-up comic or anything, but it was a funny story. And it's like, I have to go to a class, and I get in my car, and I notice that on my side mirror, there's a field mouse. And so I get out of the car, and he jumps off, and I can't find him. And so I get back in the car, I get on a ferry, I get on the freeway, and I'm on the freeway, and here comes this mouse up over the top of my windshield, and he's on my windshield. I'm going 60 miles an hour, and he's right there on the windshield. I didn't know what to do. And it was like, oh my God. And it's like, I didn't want to really, so all of a sudden he goes and he disappears. And so then I get to where I need to go, and I walked all around the outside of the car, and I didn't see him. So I thought for sure I lost him. So 8 hours goes by. I'm done with the class. I get back in my car. I get back on the freeway. I get back on the ferry. I'm on that ferry, and I'm riding, and this guy knocks on my passenger window, and he says, hey, you got a mouse out here on your side mirror. And I said, what? And so I rolled the window down. I get out of my car. I walk around, and sure enough, that mouse is on the car. And so I go over. And so what does he do is he jumps in the car now because the window is open. And so I thought, now I've got the little mouse in the car. And so I get home, and I have several live traps. And so I set a trap and put some peanut butter and put it in there. And, I caught him within 10 minutes, and then I let him go. But wow, it's like, that was pretty amazing that, and it was funny. It was just one of those funny things that happens. And, yeah, so that's all I got.
Thank you very much, Susie. That was fun. Love the stories. Good times.
Was that mouse named Mickey?
I don't know. I didn't name him, but it was amazing.
A small one. It was named Minnie.
Minnie, yeah. I couldn't believe that he survived the ride on the freeway on my windshield. Yeah.
Love it. Who's next on the It's All Good Circle Comedy 90 Minutes? Oh, no. Nobody wants to follow that.
Jen is unmuted.
Oh, I just unmuted because you suggested that we unmute and laugh.
Yay.
Jen, are you ready to go since you're talking to us? You're up?
Sure. Yeah, I was looking up. I mean, I loved the topic as soon as I saw it. And just if you do a quick search on the benefits of laughing and how it's a mood elevator, it can calm things down in a difficult situation. If it's, you're not laughing at somebody or offending somebody, and it's good for your immune system. But it's also it tends to be contagious. Have any of you been seeing lately on some of the, if you're on the, social media at all, like the short videos, and these people go in and they'll go into an elevator and they'll just start laughing. And then they start laughing harder. And then they start laughing harder. And then, people are trying to ignore, but, somebody will smirk and somebody else will chuckle. And then before you know it, the whole elevator is laughing over nothing, and it completely changes the whole mood, and that feeling that you get inside after you have a laugh like that to where you're crying, it's euphoric, it's like it can completely change your mood. If you've been stuck in a Debbie Downer kind of stuck place for a while, and you have a laugh like that, it's really amazing how it can pull you up and out. So, I mean, I think it'd be kind of cool. One of the things that I kind of saw when I was looking was, I didn't know there was such a thing, but there's something called laughter yoga. Have you heard of it?
Oh yeah,
Wouldn't
we're
that
going to
be a
do some
fun
in a
thing to
few
bring
minutes.
into our centers? Hey, today we're doing laughter yoga. And everybody comes in to be uplifted with, laughter, which, many say is the best medicine. I mean, I've had lots of, laughs in my life too. And I don't really have any specific stories like some of you do that to share, but at the end, it's up to you, Dr. Dream. If you want to screen the share, I'll put the one I shared up because it just was one of those things that when you watch it, it's like less than a minute long, but you cannot help but laugh. It's just fun, and funny, but it's just, I'm glad you brought the topic up because it did inspire me to maybe do some sort of laugh therapy, you know?
So, Jen, do you want to share that? I just made it possible for you to share it.
Sure. Yeah, I can. I know right where it is. I can bring it up.
Yeah, we got
let's see,
time. We got a small group tonight.
What do I click on? Oh, share. Okay. And then I have to go to, let's see here. Go here. Click on this. And then we're going to click. Oh, you were sharing. Okay. Oh, are you there? Okay. It's saying something went wrong. So I'm trying to get to. Click that off.
I like the little virtual wrench there. I haven't seen that one before.
Yeah. Well, see, I'm going to reopen that because for some reason it wasn't letting me go in. There we go. So we're going to go
I
here.
didn't see the monkey, but it appears that was a monkey wrench thrown in.
Monkey wrench.
Here. And as soon as it's done thinking, we'll go ahead and open it. Okay, here we go. Let's hope this works. My goodness. I thought it was going to be easy. Okay. I don't know if you can hear it.
I think you have to click the speaker down on the bottom.
Oh, there it is. Yep. Let's see if we can. I don't know if there's a way to rewind it, but.
We may not end up being able to hear it.
Can you hear it?
But but the visual is good. They're on a vibration plate if people can't see it.
Well, you can share it out later to everybody if you want to, but the laughter. It's so funny. I
Look
can
by
hear
share.
it.
Jennifer, look by share. There is
Mhm.
the option, if you click on share the screen, there comes on the left side probably a little sign. You can click this off, and there's
Oh,
even share audio too.
is it the little red dot? I don't know
It's
what that is.
probably on the left side of the screen, a little arrow with a frame, and you click on this arrow with the frame and it goes open, and there says even share audio.
Oh, it says reels. I don't know if that'll.
No, not there.
No. Okay.
It's in the function of Zoom.
Okay, up here. Can you see that?
If you go back to Zoom, if you click down, you have the menu, and then you have share screen. But normally you would have it on the left side, a little frame with an arrow, because I think that's the thing that the audio is not shared.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not really sure. It's up here at the top. It says screen sharing.
Yeah, and audio.
And you can see my screen, right? But you
Yeah.
just can't hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Let me try it one more time. On my side, it is on, and you can hear everything else, right? You just can't hear that. So let's, yeah, I don't know. Can you hear it?
No.
No.
Okay. Well, you'll all have to listen to it later because the laughter is what really makes it sincere and deep, belly laughing. So I don't know how to I don't know how to make it any different. Yeah. So, okay, I'm gonna stop sharing.
Thank you, Jen.
And you can share that out because it's more fun when you're listening to it. And it truly is. It's just like that laughter is like, it's that contagious laughter. And I thought it was fun. It made me laugh.
I watched it this morning when I saw it, and I laughed quite a bit. It was good. Thank you.
I thought immediately it would be fun at a Christmas party.
Right?
So,
All
anyway.
right. Who's next on our comedy night and the It's All Good Circle? Sylvie, are you ready?
Yeah, I do my best because I'm not prepared. I was not reading the newsletter. I'm in this way guilty. No. But years ago, I was married. Years ago, it's almost over 20 years. And my husband, he was from Senegal, or is still from Senegal. This topic doesn't change. And but it was a time about even language, and learning German was kind of funny. He pronounced a couple things way different than I would pronounce it, or my mom would pronounce it. So there was a lot of jokes, but one thing what I never forget is that he came one day up to me and he said, it's crazy. People, they ask me almost 3 questions every time. Where you come from, what you are doing here, and when you are leaving. And I was, what? He said, yeah, but it's fine with me. So he said, I'm from Senegal. What I'm doing that you see at this time, he was selling different stuff on festivals and markets. And I'm not going. I bring my whole family here. And so everybody was in shock, but I really loved it. It was like, oh my gosh, that's the right answer the people need to hear, right? And so I experienced his kind of humor for that he was really centered, knowing who we are, and he was not afraid to make even a joke about it. So I could even asking him, like, there exists a joke in that says, do you know why Black people have the hand, the palm white and under the feet white, and why the nose are so big? And he said, no. I said, okay, we need to put some color on them. So we put them on the wall and then we air spray the color on them. And then we have to flip them by side. So we put the fingers in the nose, we flip them by side, and then we can color the rest. And he was laughing since hell. And for me, it's like, and in this way, I really agree with Phil, what you said before, that we lost this kind of humor where we are too serious, and instead of allowing and giving the space for, oh, let's look, I'm not, and he was knowing that I don't want to hurt him or anything, that this was just a joke. So, and he was not laughing only, he was crying. The tears were running down. He was like, that's crazy. And so, and even the other thing, it's like the humor we experience about ourselves, how funny we are sometimes. And for me, it's like, this is really healing humor. And I really love it a lot. But even like the humor in certain situations, I had a little friend. Right now, she's not more little. Right now, she's a teenager. But at this time, she was something about 3 years old. So a little toddler. And it was so sweet. I loved her and I still love her. And so her mom was German and her father was from not Nigeria. But the funny thing is, we went out, and so in the area where I lived in Germany, in Cologne, was a lot of really multi-culti, and I really appreciate this kind of mix of culture. It's amazing. So we were in a place at this time when you wanted to call over far distance, we had these places where you could go and have like a special tariff to have the call on long distance. And I went with her to this place. And as usual, you find a lot of, I would say, immigration people there, like from different cultures and lands. So there was a mom walking in with her baby. And this little girl, my little friend, Miriam, she looked in this Kinderwagen. This baby was dark, like really black. And she looked inside and she said, is this? I said, it's a baby. No. I said, yes, it's a baby. And she was really like, no, this can't be a baby. And her mom looked, and I was like, okay, right now I need to go down. This little girl is like going crazy, saying this baby, it's not a baby. And I could feel even my feeling kind of shame and then I was like, no, there is no shame to be. And I looked at the mom and we both were just laughing about this situation that she was like, this is not a baby. It was just pretty dark. But yeah. these are the things where I'm laughing a lot, or even seeing funny stuff, like mostly when animals, we all know these reels with animals, what happened, how curious they are. And when you have playing like hide with the animals, specific cats, how they act, I really love that. It's really fun to see. Yeah. And it's healing and refreshing. Thank you.
Thank you, Sylvie. I
Sylvie.
appreciate your share. And who do we have next? We have Destiny. Destiny, are you ready to jump in?
Sure, I'll go next.
All right, cool.
So the first thing I wanted to talk to you guys about was uh, the documentary on constipation. Have any of you guys seen that? Well, it hasn't come out yet. Thanks, Vienna. The wonderful thing about laughter is that it can be accessed at any time if you're willing to. Really, feeling that you want to feel can really be accessed at any time. When Stephanie and I were teenagers, we had quite a bit of angst over things, and so we had this thing that we would do every once in a while when one of us was feeling overwhelmed with emotions, and we would just walk into the room and start screaming at the other person. And the other person would just start screaming back, and we would be screaming cuss words and all this nonsense until eventually we were both just laughing so hard at the ridiculousness of the things that we were saying to each other. And it was a great way to just to be there for each other, to hold space and to get out these big emotions that we were feeling, and then to end it with just big belly laughter. And there was another time that comes to mind that we were in Canada together, and it was just, we went there for a concert, and it was just pouring rain there. But we decided to go for a longboard ride anyways, because we didn't let things like the weather get in our way. And we had this wonderful, amazing ride in Vancouver, and we stopped by this park, and there was all of these Buddha-like figures, like bent over into different positions, like standing around, and we went and we played around in this park, and we were just imitating all the different Buddhas and just laughing so hard. And it's just such a simple memory, but I'll always cherish it. And um I don't know, something about rain brings out the spontaneity of fun for me. Uh there was a time a couple of years ago that I'll always remember. It just started pouring down rain outside, and I was at Stephanie's mom's house, and there was a bunch of kids there, and I ran into the room and I was like, everybody, it's pouring out rain. We have to go outside and play. And so I got all the kids to put on their stuff, and we ran down the street to the park, and we just started rolling down the hill in the rain. Just just random. And then we were on our way back, and this beautiful rainbow came out, and I got pictures of all the kids hanging out with the rainbow in the background. And it was absolutely wonderful. And yeah, so I guess my point is that I don't have a whole lot of wit and cleverness when it comes to funny comebacks and whatnot, but my version of humor would be just spontaneous fun, I guess.
Nice. I like that. Thank you for sharing. Vienna, I know that you and I have had, I laughed so hard that night that we made that podcast in Whitewater, Kansas, and I joked that you and I should go out on the comedy circuit, that we really had a good routine together. So I wanted
Do
to
fourth
make
and
sure.
fifth dimension comedy. Leave this
right?
baby behind.
So I wanted to have you sort of close out. So you've got 24 minutes to surprise. All right, now go ahead for as long as
Oh,
you want.
fun. Well, I fully intended to go and watch that video again and go, what was that? What made that magic? And I didn't get to that. So I'm like, this is unrehearsed in a way. I actually woke up one morning and I'm like, give me some juice. What's the new thing wanting to come through? And I made an audio file, like recorded it, and I was so excited to bring this new stuff. And then Sunday afternoon, we realized my son Benjamin had been missing for 28 hours. And it was like, ah! So life just went into this crazy zone, and we did a missing persons report. And so about an hour ago, he was found, and he's fine. And he's spreading his wings. He just decided to go out and be homeless and without a car. And so that's what he's doing. And so when the officer found him, and they actually FaceTimed. They weren't physically present, and just said, is there something, can I pass a message to your family? They're very concerned. And he said, you tell my family that I'm all right. Can I tell them that you'll be calling in the next day or two? And he said, no, tell them I'm all right. And so it's like, okay, that's good enough. So I've been on this height, and then my older daughter reamed me out for 45 minutes for terrible parenting earlier today. So it's been a roller coaster day. So I wasn't even sure I was going to appear tonight. But when we got the word an hour ago that Ben was fine, I said, I am totally up for some laughter now. So this isn't at all what I prepared to do, and yet this is what's here. So out of great relief, I speak. And one of my earliest memories of wanting to make people laugh was this funny thing. You'd get, four, five, six people together. It'd just be a gathering of people, and then you'd just go around and whisper to three or four of them, uh, I'm gonna say something, and it's not gonna make sense, but I need you to roar with laughter. Okay? Okay. And so you just come out with, hey, anybody know what the bear said as he was rolling down the hill? And everybody's like, no, what did the bear say as he was rolling down the hill? And you go, radio. Oh my gosh, radio. And so half the room's cackling, and then the one or two people that don't get going, I'm trying to get it. Get radio, bear, the rolling, what? And you just go, actually, never mind. It wasn't a joke at all. We just wanted to laugh. And so that was early humor, and it was just so fun to fake laugh enough that it caught on. So that was early days. And then at one point there was a talent night at a women's church group. And so I dressed up like Lucille Ball, and my opening story was I was born at an early age and I was small for my size. Um, so here's the deal. I was actually born 6 weeks early. And that kind of messing with the timeline just can't be ignored. Yeah, you like don't even think that that doesn't have an impact on your life. So it won't come as any surprise to you. Everyone in the room knows me here, all 50 of you women, and you know for sure that Vienna's going to be late to whatever the meeting is. But yeah, Dr. Gail knows. Yes, yes. And I said, it came to me one day, I need to do the math. This is actually a scientific thing. And so I calculated it out. 6 weeks early comes out to this many hours, this many minutes, and I go to about 3 events a week, and I'm an average of 10 minutes late. And so I figure at that time, I've since outgrown that, and I'm arriving on time much better now. But at the time of the presentation, I have got 2 more years 4 months, 7 days, 21 hours, and 32 minutes to repay my 6-week early debt, and then I will be on time. Nobody gave me any flack about being late anymore. I'm still paying my debt. So that was my Lucille Ball moment. And then Susie spoke of uh, the white palms and soles of the feet for people of various colors. Particularly, this was a very dark African friend from northwestern Kenya, the Pokot people in the Northwest Desert corner, cattle and camel and sheep herders, or not so much sheep, goats. And so he asked one time if I had heard how that was that came to be. I said, no, I didn't know there was a story about that. I actually just hadn't even noticed it. And he said, yep, so here's how the story goes. So at different kinds, like as the creator is molding the clay to make people, some are tall, some are wide, all different shapes and sizes. And then they're on a little conveyor belt and going into the oven to bake, because you have to bake clay, right? If you want it to be able to hold up. So the conveyor belt wasn't quite operating at the optimum levels. So some at the beginning it was going really fast, and so that was the white people. They didn't quite get baked. And so then we had the medium toned skin people. Or no, well, let's do the dark ones next. And so the next one, they slowed it way down and got it way too slow. And so this was the darker people. And in the midst of trying to get the conveyor belt done, and so then of course the third group was medium toned skin, and they got the conveyor belt just right and nicely baked. So he said, but in the meantime of trying to get the conveyor belt to work right, they forgot to cut the hands and feet apart. And so then at the end, they had to do the slice to free the hands and feet, and that's why they're white when the rest of the skin is dark. So there you go. Now you know. That's at least one African tradition of how that came to be. So then another fun thing I heard just the other day, this was Esther Hicks, and alignment is just one of my favorite principles. And so it was like the operative activity for alignment, which is what brings manifestation, right, is aligning. And the catch to it is you have to align. So you're open for manifestation. You're using the word alignment, la di da di da, and actually you have to take the time to align. So there's my recommendation on that one. And then I want to do, let me think which order I want to do this in. I have 2 activities. That's why I wanted to be last, is because I wanted to be able to end with these activities. So it's back to the conveyor belt. So I had this image of gonna call it a care wash. So that's not a care wash. Like I don't know that song really well, but somebody could hum along with that one. And so car wash. So anyway, I do enjoy. Since I was a kid, I enjoyed car washes, and ever so much now that they'll squirt the foam on and then turn on multicolored lights that change. And so I really enjoy car washes now. But here's our little, follow along if you choose, and if you don't feel like doing it in video, you can do it later. But I recommend a care wash. So here we go, pulling into the care wash, and it says pull your car forward, please. Pulling your car forward, and then you lock on, and now it's going to be conveyor belt. So now the ride is easy. You just sit back and enjoy the ride. So here comes first of all the light rinse. We're just getting the car wet, right? The care's wet. They're a little bit baked on, crusted on, the cares of this world. And so here comes the little softening, okay? You feel that, just a light mist hitting the car. Okay. Then you go a little further. And now here comes the soapy spray. And you're all covered now in foam. Can't see squat out the windows, but this is going to come out nicely. And then the color lights start. Here's a little blue. It's the northern lights, the blue, the purple, the red, the green, the yellow. And then now comes the blast cycle. Okay, we've got those cares that were kind of mucking us up, all softened up. Now jet spray. And then of course we need to have a spot rinse, spot-free rinse. So we're back to the little fine mist. And now this is your Teflon coating, so the cares don't stick anymore. Now we're going to drive forward. We're going out to the dryer. Blow your hair back. And you come out. The cares are gone. You've had your spot-free rinse. How do you feel? Feel lighter, feel cleaner, feel like you're ready to go out and drive with pride down the road because you don't have all those dirty streaks and nope, the wash me on the back, written on the back window with a finger in the dust is gone, all washed. So that's my care wash. And one more, as Jen mentioned, laughter yoga. That was my first intention, was to do laughter yoga with y'all. So get ready, get set. Here we go. You're going to have 2 cups. Okay. You didn't have to do the care wash with me, but I am going to request. If you can't do the laughter yoga, then just turn off your camera because this one. All right, here we go. So left hand's going to be your receiving cup at first. Your right hand's got your, first of all, we're going to start with some joy. Okay, ready? So we're going to go over to the joy fountain and stick your cup under. There you go. All right. So we're going to laugh now as you're going to pour it from one cup to the other and you get to laugh the whole time. Ready? Joy. Unmute. All right. Let's get ourselves a little bit of laughter here. But okay.
I spilled some.
All right. Now we get to drink it.
I spilled my drink.
There you go. You're officially laughter yoga. Thanks for playing along, friends.
That was
you,
awesome.
Vienna.
Thank you.
That's all I got.
That was really fun.
Yeah.
I want to thank everyone for having fun tonight. This was great. I was very quickly proved wrong that this was a terrible topic, and I thank you all. Really, really good times, and yeah, maybe we'll do these once a month. No, just kidding. I want to thank everyone for being here, the It's All Good Circle, and I love you all, and thanks for making me laugh tonight and bringing joy and fun, and I didn't realize how much I needed it, but I did, and I know I can count on you all. Thank you very much, and we'll see you again next week, and I'll let you know the topic here soon. All right. Love you all.
Good
night.
You.
Bye-bye.
Love you. Love you all.
Bye.
On that note.
Bye.
Bye.